Woo! Just finished a workout and decided to pop in here for my first of a series on calcium and bone building optimization. Now, if you're new to this channel, I am Michelle of Michelle's Body Shop. This video goes out to the ladies who are going into perimenopause or menopause, postmenopause even. The first topic I want to touch on for this bone building mini series, a mind-blowing discovery that I made a couple of years ago. You'd probably wonder why I take my hair down after a workout, but keeping it up is almost like wearing a hat. Spinach has been a popular leafy green that has been touted as a superfood basically my entire adult life. I've heard a lot about that. So I used to eat basically raw spinach almost every single day. I ate it instead of, lettuce for a salad. Well, guess what I found out? Eating raw spinach actually is not as beneficial to you as you might think, because raw spinach, like several others that I'll also touch on, contain what are called oxalates. And oxalates are like an anti-nutrient. What they do is they bind to minerals such as calcium and iron, and that prevents the absorption of these minerals. And for example, you could get as little as 5% of the calcium that is actually in the raw spinach absorbed into your body. That's raw spinach. But then if you boil spinach, the nutrition cooks out of the leaves and is in the water. There is a better method for cooking your spinach that will break down the oxalate and reduce its negative impact while retaining the nutrition in the leafy green. And that is by a process called blanching. Blanching is when you boil the water and you put all of your spinach in there and then immediately transfer it from the boiling water to chilled water. And it's actually quite delicious. The spinach comes out softer, of course, but it's not like mush, like whenever you get canned spinach, which of course I don't recommend. It's got a bright green color and it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. It takes some of that kind of bitterness out that you taste with the raw spinach, but because of the blanching process, the nutrition is not leached out into the water. Check the description and you will see a link to a blog post on my website, michellesbodyshop.com, where I have even more information about the oxalates, about spinach in particular, about blanching, and then also a list of other foods that have the oxalates in them as well. Now, everything in moderation. But if you are like me and eating raw spinach all the time, thinking that you are doing yourself a big favor, think again. So anyway, I recommend spinach, but you're going to have to go through this process of blanching if you're wanting to retain the nutrition. I hope this has been really informative for you. It really blew my mind when I discovered this. I hope that it helps you to get the absolute most out of this superfood that is spinach. Please consider subscribing to Michelle's Body Shop, as I'm going to be posting a series of several short videos like this one with some not so commonly known facts that can help you retain your bone density or build it back. I myself went into perimenopause. By my late 30s, I was already experiencing symptoms. So by the time I was 41, I had already gone into some bone loss to the point where I was almost in osteoporosis. So my diagnosis was osteopenia. So I've been on this mission of lifting weights and, of course, studying all the while. Because you may not know this, but every 7 years, you have a new skeleton. As we live, our skin, everything, sheds dead cells and builds new ones. And your bones are no different. So if you make changes today, it's going to make a difference in your bone density tomorrow. Just because you've been diagnosed with osteopenia or osteoporosis does not mean that you have a death sentence and that you can't recover. And as always, I'm going to recommend weight-bearing exercise. So if you want to join me, a 50-year-old woman who is beating the odds and beating aging, I'm not about just being a skinny mini. I'm trying to build something here. So come join me on Saturday mornings when I do a live virtual workout with a group of ladies. Go to michellesbodyshop.com, click on classes, and sign up. It's very inexpensive and it's a really great value because you're not only doing an exercise, you're doing it with new friends. It's always better to work out together. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time at Michelle's Body Shop.